You know, I'm pretty smart for my age, I guess. Like, a lot of the things that I know I learned from my mom, because when I was little, I used to ask, like, 1,000 questions a day.
I would say I'm really fun, outgoing, responsible, good worker, good with people, honest.
I'm dependable. I'm reliable.
The strengths that I see in the youth that I work with are that they're resilient, they're hopeful.
When I was in school, people labeled me as probably a problem child, always in trouble, always in the principal's office. If they would have met me the way I am now, they probably would have labeled me a problem child. They probably labeled me a goody two-shoes. They labeled me an at-risk youth. The last time I looked at the statistics for the at-risk youth to finish high school, it was like 34%.
In high school, I would describe myself as like kind of confused, lost. I hung out with a lot of people who smoked weed, you know, potheads. My counselor, like, she seemed kind of negative towards me. She doubted me a lot. I knew that. Maybe she just looked at me as a bad kid because I didn't go to school. Honestly, my counselor suggested me dropping out of high school because she felt that if I stayed there, I wasn't going to graduate.
Maybe they've been kicked out. Maybe they've been arrested at school. Maybe they've gotten into problems there and they've had to call the police on them and it's taken them away from the school. Now the youth has gotten out of, whether it's detention or, you know, some type of juvenile justice system, and when they want to get back in there, I think what's happened is that they already have these preconceptions of the youth and their behavior. So I think a lot of times the schools just don't want to deal with them anymore.
A lot of youth come in afraid to learn or afraid to be open, and because the classroom is pretty small and they get a lot of one-on-one attention, they start opening up a little bit more about their experiences, about being kind of challenged by teachers. Maybe because in the past they were a troublemaker and then maybe they try to come back for a second chance and they're like, if they drop a pencil, they're expelled.
As a kid, I always moved around. My mom, when she stopped liking a certain place, we'd move. I did live with my mom probably up until like the end of the 6th or the beginning of the 7th grade. And then I was put into foster care. And from there, I pretty much went worse. 6th grade, I was getting picked on. And then I'd start a fight because I didn't like getting picked on. I probably got suspended like 20 times in a 5-month period.
I've never been to a regular high school. Ever since I got kicked out of middle school in 6th grade, they haven't let me go back to a high school. In the 6th grade, I got kicked out because, like, I was always in trouble. Like, I was always in the office, like, and, you know, I was late a lot, and so they sent me to the Renton Academy alternative school. If you go to alternative school, you know, it's full of kids who are from their school district's bad kids or whatever. So, like, we put a bunch of hyperactive kids in one setting. They're all gonna encourage each other to, you know, be more. So, and I did good at Renton Academy for so long, but then, like, one day I just, you know, I really did something stupid. I threw some hand sanitizer at my teacher, and I guess it messed up her eyes, and that got me sent to Green Hill for a year. Green Hill is like a juvenile prison. You know, I really don't think there's anything they could have done to prevent me from getting kicked out of middle school or, you know, acting the way I was at that time, because I was a little kid back then. People in school are still building their character. They're still learning. That's what school's for, is learning.
The strengths that I see in the youth that I work with, the youth they're survivors. You know, it's tough for the youth that are involved in the juvenile justice system. They can never be forgiven for making a mistake, and these are kids. Their brains are not even developed, and we expect them to know how to problem solve and to, resolve conflict and to deal with their emotions, and they don't know how to do that. And if they're not getting that from the family, then where are they going to get it? You're always going to have behavior and discipline issues. You have that as a parent. If you were a parent, as soon as they do something wrong, then what are you going to do? Just get rid of your kid?
I have seen students kind of damaged by being expelled or excluded from going to school. I know they've had a rough life, but they still come in with a sense of hope.
Have faith that you can do good things, and don't let negativity get inside you, because once you get all that negativity, it's really hard to push it out. Don't let your teachers bring you down, not your friends, not your parents, because a lot of times in high school you're in groups and you're labeled for certain things, and a lot of people say, oh, well, you're a loser, you're that, you're this, but don't let labels or anything get in your head, because no matter what, if you want to prove somebody wrong, do it. It's I have a lot of encouragement now. Even though I'm getting my GED, I have more encouragement to do that than I ever had in high school. And I think that if I had more of that support back in high school, I probably would have been graduating, But I'm glad I have it now. Better late than never.
My personal goal, by 35, I want to own my own business. I really wish that I had stayed in school, for the simple facts that there are a lot more opportunities for those who do stay in school.
My goals are to figure out what college I want to go to and, find a job that I could keep. I think regular high school would have been I would have met more people, I'd probably have more friends or something. I might have liked it, I might have hated it, but I don't know yet. Well, I never will know, actually.